A chance encounter that changed everything. Like any other morning, 14-year-old Ethan Miller set off for school. His freshly ironed school uniform fluttered lightly in the morning breeze, and his scuffed backpack hung lazily over one shoulder. The familiar rhythm of the city unfolded around him, cars honking, shopkeepers rolling up their shutters, and workers briskly heading to their jobs. Ethan wasn't like most kids his age who scrambled out the door at the last minute. His mother, Laura Miller, had raised him to value discipline. "Your character is your greatest wealth, Ethan," she would say every morning, echoing the same wisdom her father once told her. "Never compromise on your values." But today felt different. Taking a quieter shortcut, his eyes caught something unusual near the curb, a leather wallet, resting slightly ajar on the sidewalk. It wasn't the kind of wallet you found every day that radiated wealth. Its sleek, high-quality leather glistened under the morning sun. His heart raced as he crouched down, fingertips grazing the soft leather. What if it's stuffed with cash? The thought tempted him. Rent was overdue again, and his mother had been working exhausting double shifts just to scrape by. Ethan hesitated, scanning the empty street. Should I even open it? Curiosity got the better of him. He flipped it open, and there it was. Neatly stacked $100 bills, easily thousands of dollars. Credit cards, a business card, and an ID were tucked into its side pocket. Zachary Bennett. The name rang loud in his mind. Everyone in the city had heard of Zachary Bennett, the self-made tech mogul. His face was on the cover of business magazines, TV interviews, and billboards across town. For a moment, Ethan froze. This money could change everything. It could buy groceries for months, cover the rent, and maybe even fix their broken washing machine. But then his mother's words echoed in his mind. Never compromise on your values. Ethan exhaled deeply, his decision clear. He would return the wallet. A heavy secret. The business card revealed an address, Bennett Innovations, downtown, and a phone number. But with no phone of his own and no change for a payphone, Ethan had no choice but to deliver it in person. He tucked the wallet deep into his backpack and headed to school, feeling the weight of the choice he had made. The wallet sat there like a silent secret, heavy against his books. Throughout class, Ethan barely heard the lessons. Doubts gnawed at him. What if Mr. Bennett thinks I stole it? What if I'm accused of something I didn't do? During lunch, he slipped out and made his way to the public library, hoping for some guidance. The elderly librarian, Mrs. Green, noticed his anxious expression. "Something on your mind, young man?" "I need to find someone." "Zachary Bennett," Ethan replied. Her eyes widened. "The Zachary Bennett." Ethan nodded. She led into a computer and helped him pull up the address of Bennett Innovations, a towering glass skyscraper in the heart of downtown. "Good luck, dear," Mrs. Green said with a kind smile as Ethan scribbled the address onto a scrap of paper. Walking into another world. After school, Ethan didn't head home. He spent his last coins on a bus ride downtown, clutching his backpack like it held $1 million. The city's wealthiest district was nothing like his neighborhood. Shiny cars lined the curbs, people in designer suits hurried past, and glass skyscrapers towered above, reflecting the sunlight like mirrors. Ethan's nerves kicked in as he approached Bennett Innovations. The building was a monument of success, glass walls, polished marble floors, and a chandelier in the lobby bigger than his entire living room. He stepped inside, making his way to the front desk. "I need to see Mr. Bennett," Ethan told the receptionist, doing his best to sound confident. She raised an eyebrow. "Do you have an appointment?" "No, ma'am, but it's really important." She sighed. "I'm sorry, but Mr. Bennett doesn't see walk-ins." Just as Ethan felt hope slipping away, a man in a tailored gray suit overheard the conversation. "What's going on here?" he asked the receptionist. The receptionist explained, and the man's eyes flicked to the wallet peeking from Ethan's backpack. "Come with me." Face to face with a millionaire. Ethan was led through marble corridors into an enormous office with floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city skyline. Behind a heavy oak desk sat Zachary Bennett himself, a man in his early 50s, sharp-featured with a commanding presence. His piercing gray eyes locked onto Ethan as the assistant explained. Ethan's heart hammered in his chest. "You found my wallet?" Bennett asked, leaning forward. Ethan nodded and placed the wallet gently on the desk. "Yes, sir. I found it this morning. Everything's inside." Mr. Bennett opened the wallet, flipping through the contents. His eyes flicked back to Ethan. "You didn't take a single dollar." "No, sir. There was a mine to take." A pause. Then, to Ethan's shock, Mr. Bennett let out a low chuckle. Honesty like that is rare these days. He leaned back, studying Ethan. "You've got good parents, kid." Ethan smiled faintly. My mom says character is your greatest wealth. Bennett's expression softened. Smart woman. He stood up and extended his hand. I want to offer you something, a chance to learn. Ever thought about business? Ethan blinked. Business? I mean, I've thought about it, but I'm just a kid. Bennett grinned. That's how I started too. Someone gave me a shot once. Now I'm paying it forward. The first challenge. Bennett slid an envelope across the table. Here's your first test, he said. Turn $50 into $500. You've got 24 hours. No shortcuts. Ethan's jaw nearly dropped. But how? That's for you to figure out. Ethan left the office, the envelope tucked tightly in his hands, the weight of the challenge hitting him. Hustling for success. Back on the streets, Ethan brainstormed. He thought about the businesses downtown, their endless lunch orders, employees too busy to leave their desks. By noon, he stood at the lobby of another office building. Hey, he said to the receptionist, do you ever have trouble getting lunch when it's busy? She raised an eyebrow. Yeah, sometimes. I'll run and grab whatever you want. No waiting in line. $5 per order. She hesitated, then smiled. Deal? Within an hour, Ethan was running between sandwich shops and office buildings, making quick deliveries. By 5 p.m., he had made $350. He pushed harder, cleaned car windows, grabbed coffee for office meetings, even found a rentable electric scooter to speed up deliveries. By nightfall, he had $525 in hand. Building something bigger. Ethan returned to Bennett's office the next morning, placing the cash on his desk. Bennett grinned. Well done. But instead of stopping there, Bennett pushed him further. Over the next weeks, Ethan took on bigger challenges, building small businesses, recruiting other kids from his neighborhood to help, scaling his operations. Soon, he wasn't just making pocket money, he was leading a team, running delivery services, and even cleaning storefronts for downtown businesses. The final lesson. 1 month later, Ethan walked into Bennett's office with over $6,000 in earnings. But Bennett had one more question for him. What do people need that they don't even realize? Ethan spent nights thinking about it before the answer hit him: opportunity. Kids like him were everywhere, willing to work hard but with no clear path. He created a community, a network of young hustlers sharing jobs, tips, and opportunities. Membership fees rolled in, businesses partnered with them, and Ethan had built something sustainable, a system that worked even when he wasn't. Bennett smiled when Ethan returned with the news. You get it now, he said. Money's just a tool. The real power, building something that lasts. Ethan left the day knowing his life had changed forever, not because of the money, but because someone had given him the chance to see what he was capable of.